So we talk about two different foundations a lot, and we were going to explain a little bit more about what that is. Because in essence, what we build our life upon, if it's a true foundation or a false foundation, well, that means everything. And if we don't handle everything at the what the root of the problem is, then we just keep going into many different ideas, many different situations, when the root of the problem is the root of the problem.
Okay, so I'm going to go through and show why we're always speaking of two foundations, just so that people can understand a little bit better. So at the beginning of time, what, a lot of people call, creation, I guess, the beginning of creation, the Creator created life. So we've got a true foundation done by the Creator, which is a real foundation,
and this is
it's backwards.
And this is actually writing everything backwards. So this is really good. This is a perfect example of how design without intuition can become deceptive. For there is no true God and or Creator within it to keep it balanced out to where it flows properly. And this is what we mean by a backwards foundation. And in essence, what technology can do is technology can verify some of the things of the design of Father, but it doesn't have the love of Mother, so it becomes backwards and deceptive. So this is a very good lesson of how this is being done.
Okay, so I'm going to continue. Hopefully you understand. So, true foundation by the Creator at the beginning of time, which means creation was created of all living things.
Which this video right now is not living; it's of the dead environment. So that's why it's
and it's
backwards.
Showing it backwards. But really, I think it's showing it backwards because you have the camera flipped and you can flip it the other way.
Let's try that. So there we go. So that's even better. So let's say, so whenever I push the button to make it flip around, it might show it the right way. So then what it does is it shows how a backwards foundation can give two different perceptions of what looks true, and then one that is backwards, when in essence it's really just a backwards foundation that is backwards, for that's the root of the problem. Let's see what happens. All right, let me see. How do you flip it around?
How did you do it the first time?
I just hit it up here and I did it. Well, it looks like it's not going to allow us to do it, so we'll just run with it.
Well,
yep.
I really need them to see what I'm
doing.
They
can see it. They can see it.
You can't read backwards.
Yeah, people can read backwards. We're in a backwards foundation. Everybody's living backwards, so I mean, they should be able to read backwards.
Okay, so true foundation, Creator, creation, all living things, nature. That's basically it. And then over here at the fall of man, so all of this fell, fall of man happened, then they created a false foundation of lies, false idols, and became false gods.
And the only way that this can be done is a backwards foundation to the Creator's foundation, which is true. It's a mirrored view, but it's design without intuition. It's straight lines and 90-degree angles of inactive life. It is the polar opposite of the Creator. So that's where all the deception comes from.
Okay, so we've got the true foundation of the Creator, which created all of creation, all living things, nature. Everything was perfect. Everything was great. The fall of man happened. Then they decided to start building a false foundation of lies with false idols, and they became false gods. This is the foundation, the false foundation that we are all enslaved and trapped in now. And at the top of this foundation is government. At the bottom, we, the people. And what's happening, and it wasn't meant to be this way, it was meant to still kind of represent the true foundation, but in a false foundation, things can become backwards very quickly because of greed, sin, lust, power. All of the sins that are created within the false foundation can cause chaos. So now what's happening is the government is attacking we the people, stealing our children.
So separation. Separation from the true foundation is what's really going on here.
So they're stealing our children. They're putting people in jail for absolutely ridiculous reasons, like collecting rainwater. They're doing all of these backwards things. We, the people, are resisting and awakening to it and fighting back. But what are we really doing by doing that? Because we're all over here still fighting for this false foundation of lies, false idols, and false gods. What is the point? It's just creating more chaos, more war, more fighting, more violence. When if we could just stand up on a true foundation, we the people come over here onto the true foundation.
Walk away from the game. That's what that means. That means get everybody to walk away from the game. For it's the game of a false foundation for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years that has kept everybody enslaved. Well, guess what? Let's recognize the root of the problem. Let's walk away from the game.
The root of the problem is over here. The fall of man went over here, created the false foundation, and now we're all still fighting within the false foundation when all we've got to do is go this way, stand on a true foundation, standing up for the Creator and not for the false gods. While we're standing up for the Creator in creation of all living things, we are no longer fighting for lies and deceit and false dead things. We're fighting for the Creator. Right now, even if we say we're fighting for the Creator within the very false foundation that is destroying the Creator, that is a lie. We're lying to ourselves. So this is just a short example as to what we mean when we talk about the two foundations. One is of the true living God, and one is of the false God. Now, when our baby got stolen, we were trying to stand up for the true living God within creation of all living things, within nature, which is why we walked away from this side, and we tried as best as we possibly could to be on this side, standing up for the Creator.
We're trying to find people that could see the same things. Maybe people that we could be with and grow with, but
and we
didn't find. We went to churches. We went everywhere, and nobody would help us. We didn't find anything.
Everyone's over here,
yep.
And we're not trying. We weren't trying to fight the government. We were just trying to walk over here and stand up for the Creator of all living things. Well, this was happening over here, but now what's happening is we're being forced back over here.
Coercion and conversion tactics.
And being forced to stand up for false gods, false idols, and on a false foundation. But really we're not. We're trying to stand up for the Creator over here. So now we're kind of just stuck over here in the trap with everyone as we're still trying to stand up for the Creator.
But as you can see, in essence, it's not a trap in our mind. In our minds, we are free. But our physical, our body, our flesh is inside of the trap. The reason why is because the government enforces the trap of commerce cities rather than respecting the living God anymore. So this is what needs to be understood, and which is the root of the problem.
But we have all got to realize that what we're fighting for is actually a bunch of lies, and what we need to fight for is truth and of what is truly here from the Creator, which is over here. Because this is just furthering the enslavement and furthering the lies and furthering the false idols and false gods. It's only furthering the problem for everyone, and we keep looking past the root of the problems, and it creates more problems. And to look at the root of the problem is there is two foundations. One is true, one is false. So why are we in a false foundation when we should be over here?
And see, well, and the answer to that is because everybody keeps saying that there's some type of plan. Everybody keeps saying that. I talk to a lot of public officials, and they always say that, well, there's a plan in place, and we're waiting on stuff, and what?
You can show you something.
Okay, and to me that doesn't make any sense. First of all, why would anybody ever plan organized chaos? When the Father and Mother, the Alpha and Omega of us all, that gives us life, gave us an environment that is perfect, beautiful. There is no organized chaos there. there is chaos somewhat as far as like a tornado or hurricanes, storms, things like that. But in essence, it's all wavy lines and circles of active life. It builds willpower. It doesn't steal one's willpower. It doesn't enslave one. It pushes you to grow. It actually pushes. Where whoever set this plan in place, that has created a backwards vacuum system where we're supposed to wait on someone to come and save us from it, where they never accept it. Well, we'll be in this planned, operated system forever until the world blows up, unless people start realizing this, and we all grow as one.
Okay. We'll take a picture of this so that it's not backwards, and then everybody can see what I'm talking about. That's all.
You good?
That's all.
All right.